Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. Our campaign is Horror on the Orient Express, and this is episode 76. I'm your game master, and Jeff Wilkins will be giving our recap. So let's just get right into it. Let's begin our journey into the darkness. Jeff.
I actually wrote this recap twice because the first one was entirely way too long. So our last episode, there was a lot happening. I really just need to hit on the highlights briefly, or this recap will be too long. We started in the graveyard digging up Gara's net. We were attacked by a skinless creature in a tomb. We were then taken hostage by a lot of men in skin robes, clearly members of the skinless cult. We met Salim Makriat, and through torture, he managed to break our wills and get us to reveal the location of the Sedevkar simulacrum. They left us to deal with another skinless creature, but from out of nowhere, a large bear and a man dressed as a gypsy came to our rescue. He talked us into going with him to the shunned mosque so that we could defeat them once and for all. But it was all a trick. The gypsy man was in fact the son of Salim, known as Mehmet Makriat. He betrayed us once again to the cult, and we were taken hostage and thrown into a jail cell with another man with no arms or legs. This broken man was in fact Professor Smythe. Mehmet made a final appearance to us and explained that he's tricked us all for this entire journey. He's been using us to do his dirty work and finding and obtaining all the pieces of the Sedevkar simulacrum. He tells us that we will die in less than 100 hours while he leaves for London. He tells us that he must leave to go to London in order to do some sort of a cleansing ritual. The ritual must be performed or else he will become corrupted. So now we're left in this filthy jail cell with what seems to be no hope of escape and our ultimate deaths. That brings us up to date.
All right. So what are you going to do?
What can we do? Nothing. Change
Well,
ourselves.
What's the layout of this prison cell? I mean, is it like a standard stone cell?
It's a half circle, which is the outside wall of the tower. It's not like bars. There is a heavy door with a window in it, a little tiny barred window in it. But it's probably 4 inches thick. It's chained, obviously, from the outside because you can hear the chains being undone.
All right. That
Other than
wouldn't
that,
matter anyway because no one's ever got lockpick skills. So.
well, there's no hole to stick a lockpick in anyway. So, you've told. Well, Smythe has heard part of this, and as broken as he is, he tends to be ridiculously optimistic. I know this seems like a horrible thing that's happened to us, but we have to stop that madman some way if we can find a way out of the cell.
Shut up, Smythe.
Oh, my boy, I know how hard this has been on you.
No, you don't.
Now I would shake my finger at you if I had a finger.
Eldridge, look at the man. He's
Shut up, Dawkins. The whole reason that we're in this mess is because of you 3 idiots. I told you back in Trieste what was going on, that we should turn back, that we should stop them being played.
You did not say any of those things.
I did. You were just too blinded.
Perhaps in your own mind, Eldridge, but you didn't speak that out loud.
My friends, you can't blame yourselves or one another for believing in a righteous cause. You were tricked. You were tricked by a man who deceived you. It's him that all of your anger should be turned towards.
Quite
We
so.
can't be blamed that we trust people when we ourselves are trustworthy. There are evil people in the world. They're the ones that we should stop. You know, I'm thinking, I've been in here now quite a while, and through the various times that I've been taken in and out in order to remove part of my old fat body, these people here are very superstitious. They believe in all sorts of strange and ridiculous things. Just what if we could frighten them? Didn't Mehmet say that he was going to have the guards come in and free you from the walls? You guys are all chained.
Mm-hmm.
He says if we could frighten them, he says they kept talking about something called Chingrak Liyan Adam, which, well, for all intents and purposes, would translate as something like the rattling man or the flapping man. I think they think that this place is haunted by the spirits of all of the people who they've murdered over the years. It would give us enough time to attack them, don't you think?
Do we know what this apparition is supposed to look like?
I don't think that it matters because they're the ones who believe in it. I don't, I've spent my whole life debunking this sort of nonsense, but these people believe in such a thing, whether it's true or not. I think that if one of us suddenly screams, Shingrak Liyan Adam, they're going to be distracted, immediately distracted, and possibly terrified. It gives us a chance. He shrugs only the shoulders, but without the arms.
Like Prince Randian from Freaks.
Unfortunately, there's one other thing. Actually, the GM's saying this to you. There is one other thing that you're going to have to think about. If you manage to distract the guards, if you manage to get out of this cell and possibly escape, what are you going to do about Professor Smythe?
Probably a duffel bag.
You don't have a duffel
Seems to be the
bag.
right shape. Well, we'll have to take him with us. We can't leave him here.
No.
That would be obscene. Well, we need a plan of action. I would suggest at the bare minimum that if they return and start unchaining us, that we wait until they've unchained the second of us. Then the two who are still chained up, one of us could scream, the other one could shout out the name of this thing, and while they're distracted, the two who are free could
Strangle them to death?
yes, kill the blighters. Let's not pull any punches. I mean, these people have locked us in a tower.
Yeah, but now we
stolen our belongings and cut the professor's arms and legs off.
So let's say we get out of this cell. How many of these cult members do we have to deal with on the way out? And how do we deal with them unarmed?
Well, presumably the two we've dispatched would have weapons
Perhaps.
of some sort.
I think, my friends, that the strongest weapon you might have is their superstition.
Is it superstition, though?
Oh, wait a minute. So let's say they come in, we take them out. Everybody else, we free the rest of you guys, and then on our way out, we start screaming and running away, screaming the name of that creature,
The flapping man. Yeah.
flapping man. And just run away from the cell, like in complete horror. And perhaps that will cause the other cultists to run as well. Hopefully their superstition about this flapping man will be enough to have, them ignore us.
But my friends, I don't think you should take me with you.
No. We can't leave you here.
But I'm already done. There's nothing you can do for me. I'll just slow you down. What's left of him probably weighs about 50 pounds.
Even if you are done, there are better places than this to die. At least die outside in the fresh air. At least die fighting. What Rupert would have wanted.
I'm sorry, I just had a vision of you rolling him down the stairs to knock down the people coming up the stairs.
That's a bloody good idea. I wonder if he'd make a good club. Does he bounce? Probably not. More of a thud.
That's a shame.
Can I check my persons? Is there? Did they forget anything? Is there anything I have on me?
You're chained to the wall. You can't even look in your pockets. No, they probably took everything that you have in your pockets out. Although,
is there a window?
there's a little tiny square that lets in light, but it's way up high.
We don't know how high up we are.
And it's dark outside right now, so you've just got torches.
Because when we came in, we went below ground, so we're up high in a tower now at some point.
And you went all the way to the top. You're in the topmost room.
Did we see the tower from the outside at all? Do we know approximately how high up we are?
Possibly, yeah. It was like a minaret. So you're at least 4 or 5 stories up. You know that there were 4 floors below you.
I mean, I don't necessarily have any better ideas, but I don't. I've seen what these people do, and I have a hard time thinking that we can just scare them with a boogeyman. I mean, they've sewn children together. Like, they've got to have some sort of hard skin or detachment or something to just not be afraid of what would scare any normal human being.
Yeah, that's initially what I was thinking, but Smythe says that the superstition is pretty much their weakness. I mean, do we not trust Smythe?
We only need to distract them, dear boy, for long enough to get out, to get away.
If it can serve as a distraction, it may work.
So
as I recall,
again, Smythe? If we're going to yell it, I want to be able to yell it nicely. I mean, correctly. Chingrak
Lian Adam. Chingrak Lian Adam.
Chin, C-H-I-N.
Chin like chin.
Chingrak
Lian.
Lee.
Chingrak Lian. Chingraklion. Adam. Adam is man. Adam. And for the Turks who are listening out there, I've probably got the pronunciation all completely wrong, but
It's Clio, not Cleo.
it's throat wobbler mangrove.
Tingrokli on Adam. Does that mean anything to us?
Oh, you've never heard it before. It's Turkish. The professor knows quite a few languages. So the professor says that he'll yell it out because he can say more than that in Turkish, you know.
What if we fight amongst ourselves? You know, once they free the last of us, I don't know. Eldritch has a look in his eye. What if Eldritch and I go at it, and then in that physical distraction, the guards, how would they react? Would they just let us fight it out? Would they watch?
Would they just turn around and lock the door because that's what they're supposed to do and leave you?
Yeah. Remember,
I'm sorry.
they're not unchaining us so that we can walk around the facilities. They're unchaining us so that when we become, I guess, hungry enough, we will pick off the remains of Smythe.
Yes, I'm quite sorry about that. I'm probably quite tough.
It was good to see that you can keep your sense of humor.
Oh, I have no illusions that I'm done for. I mean, I wouldn't even want to survive this. Look at me. I think he left my tongue only so that you could hear my voice. He left my ears and my tongue, took everything else.
Good God.
He's quite a monster. I wish I'd had a chance to fight the man. To be honest, I didn't even know who he was. Except when I found out that he was the son of Salim. Salim, I know. Salim is the reason why I haven't been able to travel in this part of the country most of my life.
Yeah, why is that?
Because plans not too dissimilar from these were once perpetrated by Salim long ago. I was probably in my mid-30s, maybe a little younger. And I thwarted his plans, but I managed to escape back to England before he could do anything about it. And I kept watch. However, after 10 years or so, I felt that there was nothing going to come my way, so I dropped my guard. In fact, I don't think that anything ever would have happened. It was his son that did the deed.
Do you have any idea why he's headed back to London?
Well, from what he said a little while ago, didn't he say that he was going for the throne? He's a man who can impersonate anyone now.
Good God. You mean he aims to replace the king?
Mm. I'm not sure that he would be successful in that. After all, he might look like the king, but he wouldn't know how to act like the king.
Mm-hmm.
But, and even if he was the king doesn't rule the world anymore. The king is just, since Victoria, just sort of a figurehead, but he would have money and power.
Yes, but money and power come with a price, usually.
Well, all he has time, so.
Since you've been here, are there any patterns that the guards keep? Like, do they come and feed you food at a particular time, or is it always 2 guards, or is it 3 guards?
What they feed me, I don't even want to think about what it might be. And I don't think they're going to feed any of us anymore. I think that's the idea. Patterns, yes. I do think that they are superstitious. They always, well, when I had my eyes to see them, they always seemed a little bit sketchy when they were in this tower. And as I say, they kept mentioning this Chingraklian Adam, this flapping man.
Hold on a minute. How do we know you're Smythe?
What would you like to know? Something intimate from when we were back in the United States in the Arcane Society? And he then regales you with something that you guys did while you were in the club that is quite significant. So he says, Mehmet may be able to take the body, but he can't take the mind. He can impersonate the outer looking, but he can't, he doesn't get the brain or the skills of the person. So I don't know if you want to do a roll for it, but he's got enough information that you're 99.99999% sure that it's Smythe.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just pepper him with questions about our first investigation of the ghost ship.
Well, that information you all sent to him, that wouldn't work at all.
That's what I mean. We sent him the report, didn't we?
Right. But then he presented that at the Challenger lecture, and Mehmet was at the Challenger lecture. So, be better to, he was the president of the Arcane Society in the United States 5-6 years ago, so he would know all about things from back then that you guys did. It's him. Besides, you saw Mehmet leave.
Mm-hmm.
So, about this time, you can hear the guards coming. And he says, they most likely will completely ignore me. Because I can't do anything.
Is he chained in any way?
Nope. But he doesn't have any legs or arms.
Yeah, I didn't know if he had a...
So he can roll. You hear the chain being drawn back. You hear the doors open. And 2 guards come in. And one of them has a rather large knife. And speaks broken English. And he says, we are going to release you. He's Russian, apparently. We are going to release you. And he comes over to Elizabeth first. And he takes the knife and he holds it right up against your neck. and he's like, "Don't move," as he's undoing the chain. And as soon as he gets it undone, the bracers on your arms, he tells you, he takes the knife and he says, "Stand over there in the corner and don't move while I take the next person down." And you think that seems to be the way he's going to proceed. So in that moment, in between Elizabeth and the next person, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to do anything, or do you want to just let him keep taking people down from the wall? Do you want to formulate a plan?
Oh, I think we already had a plan. I mean, we can't formulate a plan in front of them.
No, I'm saying this is in your minds. Do you want to modify? Do you want to? When are you going to act? You guys can give each other a look, like now, or
Yeah. So is it just these two, or is it like how many?
just two?
Just two of these guys. What's the other
Is
guy?
the-
So one is releasing.
One of them is standing near, not too near, but kind of, 6 or 7 feet away from Elizabeth, but he's pointing his knife at her. Don't move. And the other guy is now moving to Eldritch to take his bonds off. So the question is do you want to do anything or let him take Eldritch down?
Well, he's going to take Eldritch down. All right. I'll wait for a signal from the rest of you guys. I would say Elizabeth. Well, here's a question: is the guy who's holding the knife on Elizabeth? Is he like looking at her, or does he have his eyes on us?
He's watching Elizabeth, making sure she didn't try anything.
Okay.
Okay. So the second guy comes to Eldridge. Now these guys are not huge, but they're not small either. They've got muscles. So he puts the knife up to Eldridge's neck, and he starts undoing the cuffs on either side. And then as soon as he undoes that, he then says to Eldridge, "We'll go over in the corner with the woman and let the next person down."
I'll walk over and I will keep my distance from her, and I'll just kind of walk down on the floor.
You guys notice that the way they're moving is not entirely because of you. They're cautious because they're expecting you to try to make a break for it, but they seem to be also afraid of something that might be here. That superstition is sort of there. You hear Smythe at this point. He says, "You're like, sorry, old chaps, that this is happening to you." He says, and I'm really, of course, sorry about the smell. It smells awful in here. Like there's lots of dead things around here. And when he says that, you can see that they sort of look over at him, and then he says something in Turkish, which makes them nervous. So he's priming the pump, so to speak. Anything before he releases Frank? No? Okay. So he's got Eldritch over there. He's actually it's like this, you're chained. So he comes up to Frank, he puts the knife up, and he takes up off the one and then off the other and tells you to get over in the corner. And then now What are you going to do? Anything in between?
I don't think so. I mean, it doesn't. If he's unlocking us all, it makes sense that all of us should be free if we're going to overwhelm him.
Okay. Well, you also, of course, realize in this, if it didn't click, he's got a big keychain with a bunch of keys on it. So he's also got the keys. All right. So he comes to the Dawkins, and once again puts the knife there. He undoes both of the things, and in that instant, Dawkins is now free, though he's still up against the wall with the knife.
Okay. So at this point, go ahead, Dr. Keith.
Well, I was going to suggest that I'm simply waiting for someone to shout something, and the instant that one of the other three shouts something, I'm going to scream at the top of my lungs.
Okay, so what I was going to do is the moment that I'm free, I was going to let out an audible gasp, like, what the? And as I do that, I guess that will be sort of the signal for Smythe to say his.
Okay. So as soon as he hears that, he says, "My God, is that?" Actually, he says this all in Turkish, but you hear that Çingrakliyan Adam, and both men suddenly look around.
And okay, so go on. I mean, I'll let you finish before I say anything. Go ahead.
Well, that's
okay.
Well,
so,
I'm gonna at that moment I'm gonna scream at the top of my voice, if nothing else, just to completely unnerve them.
And they actually, sort of cringe when you scream, like an animal that suddenly is terrified. And what do you do?
So they are. I'm going to try to hit them over the head, or knee them in the nuts, or something like that.
Okay, grapple. All right, so you're going for the one that's right in front of you?
Yeah.
Remember, he's got a knife too.
Yeah, but he's
distracted. He's not even looking at you.
Okay.
He's looking at Elizabeth.
Oh man. You said grapple. That's what, brawl?
Brawl.
Yeah. 44 out of 35. So no.
Okay. Well, you lunge at him, which scares him more, and
well, how can I guess not. I was going to say if I missed, I didn't miss by much, so no.
Can you use luck?
No. I was going to try to think like as if I'm trying to get away from, something that's extremely frightening or whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, you can do that. What I was going to say though is that Smythe has rolled across the floor and gone right behind the guard. So when the guard steps back, the guard falls.
Okay.
Frank?
Right.
I'm going to immediately try to go for the other guard's knife.
Okay.
I miss.
Okay. Eldridge, are you going to do anything?
Nope. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to watch.
Okay.
The guard who's still standing.
Right.
Um,
He looks like he's about to bolt for the door.
Oh well, I was to say I was gonna grapple him.
Okay.
I'm not terribly good at fighting, but I am rather large, so that's. I also got very, very poor brawl skill. 31 out of 25. No.
Okay. Except that he rolled a 99. So he takes 2 steps back and he falls over his own feet. So go back to
I'm gonna sit on him.
well, he still has a knife.
I'll sit on the arm that he's got the knife in
I'm
Oh,
going to try to rest. Oh,
and hold the arm.
I lost my dice. Sorry. All right, Dawkins.
I'm going to try to wrestle the knife away from the one that fell, the one I was trying to initially go after.
Okay.
So I need to do a grapple for that.
Yeah, it's still a grapple.
Oh my goodness. Nope. That is a 90.
Okay. There's all kinds of scrambling going on. Smythe is trying to bite the guy.
Yes, and they
Frank.
didn't take his teeth.
Nope, they didn't take his teeth. Frank. And the professor keeps yelling out Chingraklian, the Adam, the rattling man, the flapping man. Frank?
Yeah, I'm going to continue also yelling that Chingraklian Adam. And the second guard, the one that fell over in the doorway,
Uh-huh.
the one that Dr. Keith is going for. Again, I'm going to try to get the knife away from him.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
Nope.
Well, you guys are kind of disheartened. So you're all scrambling across the floor. Eldridge. Anything?
Nope. Nothing.
All right. Dr. Elizabeth.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and stamp on his wrist. The wrist that's holding
All
the
right.
knife. Of the hand that's holding the. Hey! 19 out of 25.
Okay. You easily stomp on his wrist, and the knife, he just lets go of the knife. They're screaming now too, because they don't know what the hell's going on. Dr. Dawkins.
All right. So I'm struggling with this guy with the knife. So I'm going to take a page out of Smythe's book. I'm going to try to take a nice little bite at his arm to have him release it.
Okay.
All right. So I guess that's another roll. Hey, I got a 22.
All right. Tastes like chicken.
Pork, actually. But
The guy yells when you bite him, and in fact, lets go of the knife.
I'm going to grab the knife. As soon
Okay.
as he lets go, I'm going to grab the knife. And if I can, in the same action or round, I'll stab him with a knife.
No, because you got your mouth full of cultist.
Yeah. I will say with his arm in my mouth, it tastes like chicken.
That's my joke. All right. Back to Frank.
So Dr. Keith knocked the knife free.
Yeah.
I'm going to focus my attention on him and just start trying to pummel him.
Okay. Go ahead.
95.
He trips you. So you're now on the ground. You're all on the ground. Dr. Keith.
I'm going to try and either, depending on whether my arm or my leg is closer, I will try and either push or kick the knife away from him.
Okay. Easily done. You don't even have to roll for that. It's right there where your foot is. Dr. Dawkins.
All right. So now,
Unless Eldritch wants to do something.
Nope.
I'm going to try to stab him with a knife.
All right. Now it's a fighting. So
Hmm?
it's fighting. So you just use fighting. Oh, wait, or isn't it? I guess it is still. It's still brawl.
Whoa. Yep. Ooh, wee! I've got a 1.
Oh. How
Nice.
much does your knife do? 1d4 plus 2 plus your strength bonus. I don't know if you have a strength bonus.
I don't have a strength bonus, and I got a 2.
But it's 2 plus the maximum, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you jam the knife right up into his throat, killing him instantly. And blood going everywhere.
All right. So then I'll get up, and I guess I'll wipe the blood from my mouth.
That's next.
Arm.
That's next round.
Okay.
Frank.
Yeah, I'm just gonna continue to flail on the floor and kick and punch and miss.
All right.
Miss.
What's that? Miss?
Yeah.
All right. You're still scrambling, trying to get a hold of the guy, but he's now got a hold of his knife, and he's going to try to swing it. Dr. Elizabeth, you're too far away. Dr. Dawkins, you're on the way to this guy. Eldridge, anything?
He's got his knife? I thought Dr. Keith kicked it away.
Yeah.
No, that guy's dead, isn't he?
No.
No.
Because I took the knife from the guy who's dead now.
Okay. I got the two guys mixed up. All right, so the guy that Dr. Keith is setting on is still kicking. Okay, no, he didn't get his knife, sorry. So go ahead, Frank.
Oh, yeah, that's what I...
Oh, you did.
And I missed, yeah.
You did. Dr. Keith?
Well, while sitting on him, I'm going to try and pound available bits of him with my fists.
Okay.
In the manner of a
brawl, right?
Hammer fist.
Wow.
59. That's a no.
Yeah, you got a 95. So
I was just thinking, technically, Dr. Keith and I should have the bonus advantage for being outnumbered.
That's true. Do you want to roll again, Dr. Keith? I don't see how you could not hit him in the face.
Oh, 15.
Okay, you're punching him in the face. Go ahead and do some damage. 1d4. You got some power behind those fists.
Fists of fury.
3 points of damage.
Cool. All right.
Put my weight into that one.
Let's see. That was Dr. Dawkins.
All right.
Suffragette self-defense classes paid off.
All right. So I'll, after killing this guy, I will get up. Like I said, I'll wipe the blood from my mouth. And in my best Cockney accent, I will say, I already gutted this guy. So dinner is served. Let's save this one for later. And I'll walk over towards him with my knife held out like I'm going to gut him. I'm trying to intimidate, so.
Oh. He's a cult member who skins people for just fun. So he's not even paying any attention to you. He's just trying to get up and get away. But that was your turn. Eldridge, anything? You want to roll a power roll to see if you can overcome your ennui?
Nope.
Okay. Frank?
I will continue punching, flailing, yelling, and
all right,
distract enough to let Dr. Keith get a good whack. Yep, I missed.
Did you bring your camera? All right, Dr. Keith.
Okay, I'm going to continue pummeling him. 50. So that's a no.
All right. Dr. Dawkins.
Well, you should get the bonus die on each attack.
Oh, yes.
That's right. That's right.
Yes. Oh, 17.
All right. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Two.
Okay. He's almost unconscious. He's been beaten pretty badly. Dr.
Alright,
Dawkins.
I'll finish him off with a knife.
A coup de grace?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that you even need to roll for that. You can just walk up and stick him. So you kill him. They're both dead.
Okay.
I'm going to hit him a couple more times, even though he's dead.
I just have had an idea. Why don't two of us derobe these two, throw in their robes, go out, search for two other robes, come back, and we can disguise ourselves as cult members, and we can walk freely until we get to the exit.
Are they, first of all, just to clarify, are they wearing robes?
They're wearing kind of like leather, studded leather things. They're guards, but all of their stuff is made out of skin, human leather.
So just to modify your idea, Dr. Dawkins, what if two of us dressed in their clothes and then escorted the other two out? Kind of a stormtrooper with Chewbacca kind of thing.
Are they wearing masks?
No.
So then that won't work. Okay. I mean, I thought it would be an okay idea, but all right. Well, let's try to get the hell out of here then. And I will say that we come across more cult members, we run out screaming the name and try to run as fast as we can away from danger, you know.
Okay.
Unless you guys have a better plan.
Who's the strongest? And I look at Dr. Keith when I say that.
It's definitely not me.
No? Okay.
I'm just big.
Then I will try to pick up Smythe.
I need you to do a strength roll.
Nope. 66 out of 50.
Yeah, he's kind of heavy. He's like 50 or 60 pounds. Just leave me, boy. Leave me. There's no point in taking me. I'll just hinder you. Or put me out of my misery.
Oh, God.
Do we hear anything?
Nothing. You also remember that when you were brought up here, there was nobody in this tower except for the guards and you. Well, there were other people in cells. But from the way they acted and reacted, they were probably other cult members that had displeased someone. So it's not like they would be grateful if you let them out. They would probably try to kill you.
Can you give us a rough estimate on time from when Mapriat left till now? Has it been
at least
an
hour? At least an hour.
I mean, maybe just stealth. Maybe just try to sneak out of here. And then I don't know if we should leave Smite or not.
Remember, it's dark. It's outside too. It's the middle of the It's middle of the night. It's it's like we're about 2 o'clock in the morning or something by now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we're going to do something, we should do it now.
I tend to think we leave Smythe, and then once we get out, we can send the police in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a risk, but I don't see how. He's right. He's just going to slow us down. I can't carry him.
Hey, you seem like one of the strongest besides Dr. Keith. I probably wouldn't be able to carry him either.
Well, I'll give it a go.
I mean, I'll give it a try too. If
I've actually passed that. My strength's only 45, but I got a 37.
Well, you're able to sort of get him off the ground, but you realize you can't really do anything. I mean, he barely has anything to hold on to.
right, he can't.
It's just a
his
lump.
arms around.
He can't hold on to you either, so.
Yes,
No,
we need
no,
some
no,
sort
no.
of torso caddy of some sort.
Yeah, I know.
Does he have any clothes? Is he wearing a shirt or anything?
Just rags. They're the rags of a suit. That his tweed suit.
Would that be enough for him to grab, or for her to grab? And
Not, yeah, like she can lift him off the ground, but carrying him, I don't know. It's tricky.
just carrying him like a sack of grocery bag, just like a baby. I don't know. If you're saying we can't, then we just gotta leave him. Let's
I
run.
suppose you could. I mean, you could try. She passed her thing. It's up to you. Do it. She's
Let's
going to
go.
be able to wieldy. She's not going to be able to run very fast. But you can do it if that's your choice.
We got to get out of here. We're wasting time.
Yeah.
Well, we can't leave him behind, so I mean, I'm willing to try for as long as I can.
While they're doing that, I'm going to start to slowly go down the stairs, carefully trying to listen. Like, is there movement? Is there anybody else awake? Are we the only ones in the tower, maybe? That sort of thing.
For the most part, other than the few people that are locked up and they're asleep, you're pretty much, there's nobody in this tower.
Well, we were just yelling at the top of our lungs. Are they still sleeping?
Yeah, I mean, they're probably used to hearing screams.
Okay.
However, when you get down, if you're going down the stairs a ways to see, you do notice on your way down that there are parts of each floor where they've almost got like trophies, pieces of flayed human flesh that are hanging on the wall to, I don't know, dry a little bit or whatever. There's a lot of that, and probably more as you go down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not interested in that. I'm just going to continue going down until I just want to make sure the coast is clear. That's basically all I'm doing.
Okay. Are you going to go all the way down to the bottom floor?
Yeah, until I see or hear anything that would make me stop.
Okay. When you're on the first floor up, you start to hear some commotion coming from down below, and you don't understand it because it's all in Turkish. But there are other people down there, and they seem to be distressed about something. And I don't know, you get kind of the impression that maybe they did hear something from upstairs and the guards haven't come back down again. And you hear that phrase, Chingraklian Adam. They ain't coming up.
These other trophies that you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a hard time picturing the where we're at. We're in a tower, so we're
You're
in
in a tower,
rounded.
so imagine that it's a spiral going up.
So these other floors, that's the part that's confusing me. How are there floors if we're in a tower?
You go up the curve, and then you're on floor 1. You go up the curve more, you're on floor 2, and then the other half where the stairs aren't, you've got jail cells. So think of it as a lighthouse, just like a lighthouse would be going up.
So you're saying floor as in like a landing?
Yes,
Just the stairs kind of stop and there's a landing there?
right. And then there's 3 cells, and then they go up to the next level, and there's 3 more cells.
So what I'm getting at is on one of the floors below us, is there a place that we can hide?
You can sort of hide. I mean, it's not really. There's not like a hiding place.
Okay.
Um,
All right, then I'm going to turn around and go back up and then tell the guys that there are more people down the first floor. Are we just going to have to fight our way out of this?
I do hope so. I do hope not.
I scoff. Yeah, I'm not leaving. So,
Think I figured that part out so far.
yeah.
That's your choice.
Yeah. And unless talked out of it, this is it. I'm not going. I'm not going with you, at least. I've been paranoid since Trieste. And all everyone said was I was paranoid. Well, here we are, locked in the tower, because someone was posing as Smythe exactly like I said. And I know that Dawkins thinks he's got a big, mighty ego because he has a magic knife, but he doesn't have a magic knife anymore. We're stuck here. And watching the 3 of you flop around with your best brawler sitting here on the ground, it makes me realize that I hate the 3 of you. My wife and child will die because of us. If we fail, it's not because of mockery, it's because we were too stupid to realize that we were being played. So, I'm done. I'm done dealing with you people. And that's it.
All right.
Well, if she's going to be a
By the
drama
way, I
queen
think
about it,
What do you guys want to do?
Any ideas, Dr. Keith?
well, other than the knives, are there any weapons or things that we can use to improvise weapons?
Did I see anything like that on my little scouting trip?
There's knives. Various
Well,
implements for torturing and flaying people.
Well, in case you didn't notice, I'm not a very good fighter, but I'll pick up a knife if I'll try, but it's not. I don't think we have a choice, basically. I mean, I think it's just come down to we just got to fight our way out of there. I mean, at this point, I'm just ready to just run down the stairs, screaming "Chingrak Leon Nadam," pointing and screaming, and just try to cause confusion and chaos, and hope we can get to the door. Just run.
Seems as good a plan as any.
And Smythe, I think, is only going to slow us down. No offense, Dr. Smythe.
Well, perhaps we should leave him with Eldritch for company.
Yeah. Yep, if he's resigned to live out his life, his 100 hours in a cell, letting his wife and daughter.
I'll go and prop Smythe up next to Eldritch. Now, would you rather lie down?
I'm not going anywhere with the three of you.
Okay.
Okay, GM does have to interject at this point because you guys.
No, you're supposed to make them role play with me to convince Eldridge to in a rallying speech.
They apparently don't like you anymore.
We've got 100 hours to live.
I
Tower surrounded by hostile cultists. Now is really not the time for trying to persuade him to come with us. If he's not coming with us, then we'd just leave him there.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's your choice. I can't interfere in that. However, if you leave Eldridge, he's out of the game. So.
Don't worry. They leave. I've got a plan.
You will be captured. Well, maybe you do. From my perspective, I don't want to run two completely different games, though.
No. Trust me, Tom. Well,
all right. Well,
I'll type. I'm going to type something to you. Okay. I'll type something to you, and yeah, you'll see what's going on. All right, I'm going to type it.
On the other side of that too is, if you guys are not going to even try to persuade him to come with you, I can't stop you from doing that either.
he seems rather set in his intentions. We need an in. That's what we need.
But you haven't even tried. You've told me, the GM, but you haven't said anything to Eldridge.
Okay.
But I'm not saying you have to.
Well, I think character-wise, Frank's, I think, in the same boat with Dr. Keith, because we're fighting for our lives, and Eldridge just sat there.
Well, all of this is taking place within the last couple of seconds.
Yeah. But during those seconds where all of our lives were in jeopardy,
Eldridge did nothing. Yeah,
he did nothing, and he just sat there.
He has post-traumatic stress disorder.
As we all do.
Although they haven't invented that term yet.
Haven't dealt with it.
So I don't know, Dr. Dawkins. My idea is that we're outnumbered, we're outarmed. Apparently, Eldridge is intent.
Is definitely outarmed.
Yeah. Apparently, Eldridge is dead set on staying here.
Okay, leave him then.
And the only thing I can think to do is we just run down the stairs, screaming that Chingrak Leon Adam, and just make a run for it. Really,
Hopefully, you can cause enough confusion that it gives us a bit of a moment to escape and leaves them kind of frozen.
Mm-hmm.
You see how the other two reacted.
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps that might help. We'll see. I mean, it either works and we escape, or it doesn't, and we end up having to either fight and die here.
Mm-hmm.
One way or the other, we can't just be frozen. Can't let fear, and I kind of look at Eldridge when I say this, but we can't let fear paralyze us. We still have a job to do in the world to save.
I think we're all sort of doing that. So we're not, I'm sort of metagaming at this point. I don't think none of us are really in the mood to give a pep talk, but we're all making these sort of snide comments and obvious remarks that's like, all right, Eldridge, time to get on.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah.
He does not want to go.
Okay. I understand.
Oh man. I wish that we could talk about all of our characters' internal feelings and know what they're thinking about. Because this would make complete sense if I could just tell everybody, oh, this is what it's exactly.
We need a booth where you can all step into the booth.
You want us to take our heads off?
No.
No. Yeah, play it out.
All right. What are you going to do?
I guess we
We're going to assume this is all taking place within a couple of seconds of you guys making decisions.
Yeah, I guess we go for it. We try our best.
So am I to understand you're going to run down the stairs screaming?
Yes. Yes, it's the best idea that we can come up with on the fly.
Or I just had another thought. The Three Stooges. Two of you stand by the doorway with the knives. I'll stand in the doorway, and we try to lure them up one at a time.
Or perhaps I should lure them up.
Well, how many of them were down there?
I didn't get a sense exactly on numbers, but there's more than one.
2 or 3. That's all you could hear.
Well, I would have thought that being a woman, they'd find me less threatening. So they'd be off their guard if they thought it was just me up here.
Would you guys like to do an idea roll?
Sure.
If you feel you need to.
Yep, I feel I do. Oh my goodness. 95.
31.
Even with your vast intellect.
Right now I'm frightened.
Dr. Elizabeth, you passed?
Passed with a hard.
Well, the flapping man ruse worked really well. I mean, the fight didn't work so well, but the ruse worked really well.
What is it about him that flaps? Has he got wings? Or
I don't know. It's just the name.
Flaps of skin?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, now I'm imagining an Alan Partridge thing.
He said that it was
it's a flap of skin.
that they think that he's the embodiment of the spirit of all of the dead people that they've flayed. So yeah, he might look like flayed people. What do they know? They know that 2 guards went upstairs. They know that they heard some screaming, and the guards didn't come back out. And they didn't come running up to see.
Why don't one of the men start making a low moaning noise and start going whoa, or whatever noise we imagine a flayed man might make. Ooh! Ah! Ooh, me skin.
Or flappy noises.
Wait a minute. Smart. What do we know about what does he know about this flayed man? This thing, is it possessed?
He doesn't know anything about it. It's just what he hears them saying.
Okay.
They've flayed a lot of people up here, and they think that there's a ghost.
Hmm.
He says it's a silly old superstition, but it's a superstition they believe in. Doesn't matter if it's real or not. And as with most superstitions, they probably don't know exactly what it is either. So if it looks weird and scary, it'll probably scare the shit out of them.
Hmm.
Okay, Tom. I'm gonna act on the idea. Can I act on the idea?
I haven't been reading your stuff.
You haven't read it? You gotta read it. You gotta look at the idea first. I'm just gonna act on it.
Go ahead, talk amongst yourselves.
Talk amongst yourselves.
No, we're not. Now we're paying attention to this crazy man that we once thought was our friend. And
Hey, okay. Eldridge is a sad, depressed man. Me over here wants to get the fuck out. So So I'm coming up with ideas over here. I've got one. I was hoping that there'd be a way to role play it, but if you guys don't have any ideas, I'm just gonna do it. Tom, can I do it?
Sure.
Okay. We're gonna there's a little bit of role play here. All right. So all this time, because no one asked what he's doing. Eldridge has been holding his wife's ring that he took at the very beginning. We asked one thing that we took. It was the wedding ring of his wife. So, as they're talking amongst themselves, Eldridge he stands up, and he walks over to Smythe, and he's going to pick him up. And as I'm kind of lifting him up, I'm going to say, "Stay here until I come back."
Say that to them?
Yes, I said that to the players, and because I have the strength to lift Smythe up, where I'm going to walk out of the cell block, the floor.
Okay. How are you carrying Smythe? In front of you? Behind you?
I don't know how it's gonna work when we get down there, but right now I'm carrying him like a sack.
Okay.
With his neck and head kind of cradled in my left hand and him wrapped around my right. So he's kind of like I'm kind of carrying him like a sack of potatoes.
You've got him bundled under your arm. Okay.
Sure. Yes. So I'm sure that he's protesting. He's like, "No."
He says, "What are you thinking about, boy? What are you trying to do?"
I say, "You know Turkish, and you're in rags. If we can fool them into thinking that you are the spirit, a floating torso or a torso that's just rolling around on the floor here to, it will spook them and they will leave."
It might work.
All right.
He says, "We might just start screaming about the flapping man, and they'll hear that and they'll become panicked."
Possibly, but I don't want to take the chance on them getting hurt. As I kind of pat Smythe's head, I'm going to kind of mutter under my breath, "I just don't want anyone else getting hurt." And all right, got another. I'm getting some other ideas. Are there skin trophies that are not necessarily dry?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take like 5 of them off their little hooks. I'm assuming they're like on hooks.
Right.
Nice and bloody, and I'm gonna take them with me.
Okay. And they're like full skin, so they're gonna weigh a little bit, but you can just fling them all over yourself.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm imagining.
Okay.
Okay.
Roll for sanity.
Yeah. All right. 48. What is my sanity? 40. So
just passed it?
No, that's a fail.
Oh, that's a fail. 1d3.
1d3. Okay. 2. But all right.
Okay.
Okay.
You realize too in that moment that with all of this wrapped around you and Smythe under your arm and everything, you look hideous.
Yeah.
You don't look like a human being. You look like a big lumpy thing.
Yep. That's the idea. Smythe is the only reason really now, because I got that idea as I was walking down the stairs. The only reason why Smythe is now with me is because he speaks Turkish.
Right. No, it's a good idea.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to walk down to the first floor.
And what are the rest of you doing?
We
are you going to just stay?
Well, that's what Eldridge seems to have a plan. He said for us to stay until he comes back. Right?
Okay. Just checking to see if you're obeying.
All right.
And then
All right. So
I'm sorry. I was going to say, and as soon as he leaves, I'm going to say, let's follow him down, but let's stay behind a bit. Let's see what's going to happen.
Yes, I could see this all backfiring horribly.
If nothing else, he's our distraction.
Yeah.
Well said, Coates.
So are you following him down then?
We're going to be behind him a bit.
Right.
So, yeah. So
Rather than have, I actually just makes sense. Rather than have him run all the way back up 4 floors.
You're right.
That would take another, whatever. All right.
Yeah.
So you don't realize that they're following you, but they're following you down. All right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just as you get to the bottom, while you're on the first floor, you can see the stairs going down. You can see there's light down there, torchlight, and you can hear people talking. They're talking in Turkish. Smythe whispers to you. He says, they're very concerned that the guards didn't come back down, and they did hear noises. He says, but none of them are brave enough to actually go up in the tower.
Well, then this is perfect, Smythe. I prop him down on the stone step and kind of lean him up against. I'm imagining it's like a curved spiral. So I push him up against the curved wall, and I kind of kneel down with all the skin draped over me, and I say, "Can you do a voice?"
Well, yeah, he can scream if you want him to scream something in Turkish. Yeah.
Well, I'm afraid that we need something big and imposing and scary. So try and do a voice when you're speaking as I walk down.
Okay.
But essentially, you imagine that you are the spirit, and I'm coming down to take their souls to the afterlife or whatever they fear.
Okay.
All right.
So he yells out, and he yells out something you don't understand at all. But the second he yells the first part, you hear dead silence from downstairs, and then he yells something even more. And as you start down the stairs, you just suddenly hear a feet running away.
Yep. Perfect.
An absolute terror.
I'm imagining that there's more to this complex. So,
well, it's still within the mosque complex.
Yes.
So, now as that happens, you hear more screaming and yelling from outside. Those guys are now screaming, and they're you can hear the words, Chingraklian, like this, and other people are yelling, and there's sort of a panic breaking out. So,
okay. As long as there is a distraction, and I am deliberately flapping the arms, like the skin hits the wall.
The rest of you hear this too. You see what's going on now, and you realize that the Brotherhood, some of the members of the Brother, are running away.
All right, this is our chance.
So, what are you guys going to do? Eldridge is on the steps.
But I think we should follow behind him.
Yeah.
Should we perhaps bring Smythe with us? He's after all the voice.
Yeah, if you catch up to Smythe, yeah, he's there.
Yeah, I mean, the closer we get towards Eldridge, the louder Smythe will be.
And and of course, Eldridge, you can hear the professor screaming things out in Turkish.
Just don't drop him.
Well, the two of you together can sort of carry him like a sack between you.
Yeah.
All right. So as you get to the bottom, indeed, you can definitely see. You can see that one of these guys was smoking a cigarette and had a drink, and both of those are now on the ground, and they have run for their lives. You hear commotion going on outside, but you can't get outside yet. There's windows, but you can't get out, and they're just holes in the brick. But you definitely get the impression that the panic is broken out. You go down a corridor into another corridor, past some things. You know that you are near the mosque where you were originally, the temple area, and you have to kind of cross a little area in there. When you do, there's nobody in there. The Brotherhood, they've all scattered. You see the big pillar thing where the simulacrum was, and the spaces are there, but the simulacrum's gone, obviously. And you see over to the side little makeshift sort of cage, and inside the cage are 3 children. One of them's a little white boy.
All right, so we found.
Shall I go and lead the children away?
Yeah, well, that was our initial goal, wasn't it?
Yes, I'll go and get the children. I'll make the universal gesture of shh, and gesture them to come with me.
All right, you find that one of the keys on the keychain that you have unlocks those doors. Okay,
and I'll lead the children away in a crocodile.
What?
That's not an American term, I take it. Crocodile.
Yeah,
where you lead school children and each child holds the other child's hand.
A duck line.
That's called a crocodile.
Yeah.
You're going to feed the poor kids to the crocodile.
No.
I didn't even mention the crocodile.
Don't take them away inside an actual crocodile. That would be cruel. Surely.
Tom, is it safe to kind of assume that we will not be running into any of the cult members at this point? That I could take off the skins?
Yeah, but just as you do that, you actually do see cult people, and the cult people are running. Okay, some of them are running. You see some appear through a door, run towards the back of the mosque, and run out. They look over at you and they see you dressed like that, so they're terrified. As you move through the mosque, before you've taken some of them off, but you've still got some of them on. It's still an effective terror weapon.
Costume. Yeah.
Others come into the mosque and turn around and run out through the outside door. But you suddenly realize that they're not looking at you. They're looking at something else in the room.
Oh, that's good. Can I do a spot hidden? Oh my God, what is that?
It's a truck. There's a truck in the room, and it's backing up. And
it's got one of the Thomas the Tank Engine faces.
Sorry, yeah, that would scare the shit out of me.
Okay, I'll do a spot hidden.
You don't really have to do a spot hidden. You look over to where the sort of pillar altar sort of thing is. And in that moment, you realize there's something there, and it's moving through the mosque towards the doors. And it is, in fact, kind of like what you are. It is a flapping man. He appears dressed in kind of a cloak of skins with a hood on, and he's flapping. But you can see that he himself is like a skinless person.
And he's like ethereal. He's like a ghost.
Sort of, yeah.
He's semi-solid. Okay.
He's semi-solid.
And
you realize that that's probably what they're all really scared of at this point.
Okay. Well, I mean, at least my thing worked a little bit. All right. Well, if this thing is running around, I'm gonna take off the skin, and I guess I'll rejoin because I guess I'm imagining that I'm like walking through the building, kind of like, ooh, I'm a spooky
You guys
ghost.
are kind of on the side trying to get to the back doors or to the front.
I also don't know if have I seen the other party members, or are they? If I just been like, ooh, I'm a spooky ghost, and like banging on the doors and stuff like that.
You realize that they're around you. You realize that Elizabeth ran over and grabbed the children.
Okay.
And that they've got Smythe.
Well, then I'm going to take off the skins, and I'll rush over, because I'm imagining it taking the two of them to hold Smythe. Right. And I'll just do exactly, I'll kind of take him from them, do the exact same thing I did, which is just hold him like a sack of potatoes.
What are the rest of you doing? Elizabeth, you're heading towards the back door with the kids.
Yes.
It's not the back. I keep saying the back door. It's the front door of the mosque. Frank, what are you doing?
Yeah, just trying to get out of here. Just following along.
Same with you, Dawkins? Oh, you're muted. I assume you said yes.
Sorry about that. Yeah. I said I was going to cover Elizabeth, but yeah, making sure that she and the children get out first.
All right.
We're heading out.
This apparition, this thing, it moves oddly. It moves like it's floating, and then there's moments when it leaps forward 6 or 7 feet and then continues moving slowly. So it's almost like it's, it's not in the real world that it's moving. And it gets to the doors before you do, and it stands there. You're going to have to go right past it to get out, but it doesn't seem to be
after us.
After you.
It seems to be after the cult members. All right, well, that's
you're going to try to go past it.
Yes, I've got to get these children out.
Yeah.
All right. Dr. Elizabeth, you managed to get past it and nothing. Frank and Dr. Dawkins start to go past it. And the thing, whatever it is, it turns towards Eldridge. Just as Eldridge is coming up to it. And Eldridge, for a moment, you're looking up sort of into its face. And its skinless face. Yeah. And it raises a finger, a bony, skinless finger, like this, up at you. And it says, "This is how many will appear before the task is done. Look well not at the skins, which are the brothers to command, but at the hearts beneath, which not even the gods can conquer." And as it says that, it lowers its hand, it grabs its cloak, and sort of starts to spin it around. And in the last moment, before it vanishes in kind of a puff of smoke, I'm going to send you a secret message.
You send me that secret message.
I'm just going to respond.
Yeah, just respond. I'm eagerly awaiting.
In that moment, it says to Eldridge,
"Stop being a pussy.
Dance, make a little love. Get down tonight."
What?
Yeah, you guys look back at Eldridge, and you see him he's just like shaken to his core.
Do I need to make a sanity roll for that?
I think in the opposite direction.
You think I gain sanity? Oh man, how much?
I'll do a 1d4.
3. So I got the 2, I lost back. Right? Oh man, holy shit. Yeah, I'm still like cradling Smythe.
So you run out in front of the mosque, and if you see any brothers, they're just running in panic in the distance. But you know that they might come back. So you are outside. You are kind of familiar with where you are. You know at least how to get back to where you came from. So what would you like to do?
We'd like to get the hell out of Constantinople.
We need a bag, I say, as I hold Smythe's naked torso. So I just imagine it's just a torso, a penis, and a head.
Well, I didn't really examine it that closely.
I'm just saying. I'm holding a naked
My dear
torso.
boy, thank God they left me my nuts.
I'm just saying. I'm holding a torso. So
This is the 1920s. People didn't have genitals yet.
That's true. Kellogg saw to that.
oh God.
All right, so I want to say that you guys are out in the street. You've at least gotten away from the Red Mosque, the shunned mosque. You've got the kids with you. You've got Professor Smythe with you. You've got Eldridge, who has this faraway, distant look in his eyes. And what are you going to do now?
Well, we should take the children to the police, or not the police, the
consulate?
Consulate, yes. Yes. And then perhaps fill in the counselor about what basically happened here.
Perhaps we should attempt to get a taxi, a rickshaw, or some such.
It's
Well,
like
there's-
3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
I tell the group, you do that while I find a bag for Smythe. I'm going to go and find us a ticket on the Orient Express for the next train all the way to London or Paris.
With the Paris.
There's a newfound odd little glimmer of hope in Eldridge's far away gaze.
yes. Get the
Sure.
get the train company to pick up our luggage from the Para Palace Hotel. Have it
I
delivered, or contact them. Have it delivered to the train station. We need to get these children to the consulate.
All right. As soon as you're done with that, I'll meet you at the station, and then we can just board and get going.
All right.
100 hours. Runs away.
All right. Let me wrap up so that we can just start fresh on the next episode. First of all, for all of the listeners who are listening, I want to explain something. When I first read through this grand campaign, I made a decision to extend the length of time that it takes for the train to travel, so that we could have more time on the train to read things like L'Immagine del Diavolo and Tilius Corvus and things like that. What I didn't realize at the time is that kind of screws things up now, because you guys only have 100 hours to get back. So don't worry about that too much. I'm just telling you that because let's not count the hours, because it might not make sense. I need to get you back onto the schedule that is here in the book. So, Eldridge, you find out that the next train possible for you to leave on is at 4:30 in the afternoon. Okay.
Okay.
Which gives you time here in Constantinople before you leave. You also realize that based on what the porter or whatever he is, the guy who sold you the tickets, that the previous train, the one that leaves in the morning, that's been booked up for weeks. So there's no way Makriot could be on that train. Okay, he couldn't have possibly known the timetable of when he would get the simulacrum and all that. So if he's on any train at all, it has to be that 4:30 train. Also, and you inform everybody back at the hotel. Are you going to go to the hotel at all?
Well,
we could.
Yeah, we.
I mean,
yes. Yeah, and,
Right.
and we do want to make sure that.
We'll talk about that in just a second.
Okay.
You also find out that when you got there, there were only 4 tickets left for the Orient Express. You're going to be in the Calais car, because that's the one that goes all the way through to the ship that takes you back over to England, and that you will not be in the same rooms. You'll be sharing berths with other people. And there's just no way, unless you want to wait a couple weeks for the next booking. That's the situation. Now, when you get back to your hotel, you highly suspect at that point that some employee of the hotel was a member of the Brotherhood, because they just let your stuff go out of the vaults. Okay. When you get up to your rooms, you do find that they've been ransacked. So if you report that to anybody, they're horrified. This hotel is on the Orient Express's list, and
full review on Yelp.
And so they're extremely accommodating to anything that you need. You return the children to the consulate, at which point the commissioner is you could have anything that you want, anything that you need. He's going to have a raid. He's putting together a whole thing to just wipe out the Brotherhood. However, you think that the Brotherhood may be destroyed already just because Salim Makriot is gone and the temple is scattered. So all that's really left is stopping Mehmet Makriot. So I think that that's where we should end it. And then when we come back, you'll have a little bit of time in Constantinople, unless you've got something you want to do right now in the next 10 minutes before you go.
Well, I'd quite like to have a bath.
Yes, you can do all of that. And decent food.
Yes, and get my curlers in.
I guess the question also is, what do you do with Smythe?
I know what I'm doing.
Could we get some sort of
they'll certainly
large
take care of him.
knitted sock for him?
Well, I'm not gonna.
Or perhaps a pillowcase.
I wouldn't want to leave him in Constantinople. It's a city that it's not his home. My intent is maybe we could smuggle him onto the Orient Express in a bag
luggage
or a case. Exactly. He's a torso. He could just fit right into luggage. And we can at least take him back to Britain. Or I mean, we could just give him to the consulate, and the consulate could do all that.
Yeah,
mail him.
Let's say they mail him. Let's say that they put him in the hospital, and they at least get him into a state of health because he's not healthy, and then they're going to transport him back to England. He's amazingly in good spirits for what's happened to him. So we'll just say that you don't have to worry about what happens to Smythe at this point.
Okay.
At least he's alive.
Yeah.
But you're definitely given any kind of paperwork that you need to clear any issues that you might have between here and.
Could we perhaps ask? I keep forgetting his title. It's the Governor General, isn't he?
Yeah, something like that.
Could we ask him then if he could possibly wire ahead to where will we be arriving from? Calais, Dover.
Calais to Dover.
So if he could wire ahead to Dover with, I mean, it's pointless really giving a description because he's got the simulacrum, but just to let them know that we'll be coming and we may need assistance.
Okay.
Particularly, we might need the help of the police in getting to London
But
very
there's
rapidly.
a dangerous fugitive that's on the train.
Yes.
And maybe in disguise.
And the well-being of the Empire is at risk. They'll respond to that.
Okay.
It's a matter of great importance.
All right. Are you going
dangerous
to
foreigner?
There you go.
That'll get them.
Mhm.
That's the word that'll set off 1920s policemen.
Are you going to rearm yourselves, I assume?
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
I lost my my tool though, my medical tool. Still sad about that.
Do an idea roll.
67 out of 80. Oh, nice. Okay.
You got until 4:30.
All right. Well,
It's 3 in the morning. 4 in the morning.
okay. Well, when I guess get a chance to, I will try to see if I can find it.
Well, remember, there's a ferry that'll take you back and forth.
Yeah.
Um,
Because that might be actually useful to, I mean, it was used before, back in the Crusades, to pry apart the simulacrum. So,
Well, especially if our link to the pieces has been severed, as he said, then presumably he is now linked to the pieces.
yeah.
So if you were to cut them, it would injure him.
Exactly.
all right. Do a luck roll with a bonus, Dr. Dawkins.
All right. Please, please. Gods of Asgard. Ah, sweet. I got a 43 out of 45. Yes.
You find it.
Yes. Thank you, Odin. Oh, well, it's Thor's day, so thank you, Thor.
Now, I suppose we need to metagame that a little bit. Do you tell anybody? Well, they all know that you went there.
No, yeah. I will let them know. And I mean, if they're concerned, I will bring up the journal. And I will say this will help us get rid of this simulacrum.
Okay. That's where we will end it then. That's a good spot. We won't play again until after Thanksgiving. Well done. Our players included Thomas McKeon, Mick Swan, Jeff Wilkins, and Wayne Worthy, with myself as Keeper of the Secrets. We're currently producing 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our show free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. Patrons of our show can now enjoy recordings of our pre- and post-game conversations when we first publish them. Some of the funniest and most interesting stuff occurs before and after the show. If you'd like to become a patron, visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month will help us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We love hearing from you. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.